Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is going to be, it's crazy when I made the thumbnail, made the title for this stream. This is the 50th live chat ever. That is just insane to me. This Friday will be the 1 year anniversary of the channel, so I'll be doing a stream Friday. I have to, why not? But today we're going to be talking about some more about Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. UFC 273 is a little over a week away, so of course we're going to talk about that. Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno 4 has been, apparently it's being reported that the UFC is looking to book this fight, which I think is the right fight to make. And also Paddy Pimblett's pay, on top of whatever else you guys want to talk about. I mean, realistically, we have so much to talk about. Kelvin Gastelum, Nassordine Imavov off. Kelvin Gastelum, Dricus Du Plessi on. Khamzat Chimaev, Kamaru, Usman, which I made a video about yesterday. Potentially Leon Edwards getting skipped over. But we got a bunch to talk about. Of course, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And do me a favor, if you have not already, like the stream, run up the likes on the stream. That's how we get a bunch of people in here. Real quick, before we get into anything, first off, go follow me on Instagram. Go follow me on Twitter. It's at MMA Joey C. It's down here somewhere in this little ticker here. Also, we're 2 days away from the 1 year anniversary of the channel. And we are sitting at 2,398 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you just found the channel, go subscribe. Maybe we'll hit 3,400 before we end this stream. Maybe we will. We'll see. Okay, let me open up a couple things because we always end up talking about different guys in the rankings and whatnot. I'll open up the UFC rankings, pull up the thing. So, okay, what's going on, Merk Lee? Hope you're doing well. What's going on besides you? Appreciate you guys joining me for the stream. What's up, Homework? Pine, what do you think of Strickland's grappling? I don't know. It's rumored to be really good, but I don't trust rumors, you know. You hear, oh, this guy trained with him and that guy trained with him and it's really good. But we haven't seen Strickland really grapple one way or another. We've seen him stuff a lot of Hermansson's takedowns, but Hermansson's entries aren't the greatest. So I'm on the fence about it. I don't think it's a fight where, or you know, I'm talking about defensive grappling for Strickland. But offensive grappling, as far as I know, most people are probably going to think about Strickland's grappling in the scheme of, can he take Alex Pereira down and hold him down? I don't know if his offensive grappling is all that great. We haven't really seen it, and I operate, you know, my perspective is based off what we've seen with our own eyes and not what, you know, somebody's friend and training partner says. Because, of course, you know, and we see a lot with different guys. We see a lot with Khamzat Chimaev. Oh, this guy trained with him and said, you know, he's just unbelievable. Of course they're going to say that. Misha Tate was saying Juliana Pena was going to beat Amanda Nunes. She said it because it's her friend, not because he necessarily believed it. Maybe she did. I don't know. But you get the point. I don't know if Strickland has the offensive grappling to take down Alex Pereira and hold him down for 3 rounds. I wish this fight was like a 5-round main event of a fight night, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Pereira probably wins the fight. I've never been super high on Strickland. You know, he just kind of goes out there, jabs guys to death. But he has like a different type of power. He doesn't have pillow punches, but he doesn't have brutal one-punch KO power, but he's somewhere in between there. And I just think he's going to get outstruck by Alex Pereira. But I do worry about Pereira's gas tank. We know Strickland can go 5 rounds. Pereira was looking tired in his last fight where he went only 3 rounds. So I worry about his stamina a little bit, but I don't think he's going to get out-grappled heavily by Strickland. Okay. What's up, Tally? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Blaze One Sport? Sup, homie Skillet? Or sup, home Skillet? What's up, VT? Hope you're doing well. 20K by this time next year. That'd be insanity. That would be absolutely insanity. But that's what we're looking for. 20K subscribers by this time next year. But guys, make sure you join me Friday. I'm going to schedule it tonight. Friday, I'll be doing a stream to celebrate 1 year the 1-year anniversary of this YouTube channel. So make sure you join me Friday. What website for signed authentic merch again? What was that now? I forgot. I can't remember what it was now. I can't remember what it was now. It was something. Hold on. Let me see. I saved a picture. I can't remember because I got it mixed up. There's 2 websites, but I got it mixed up. The one I like. I got it mixed up. Give me a second. I'm going to find it for you. Okay, let's see. Of course, it's not there. Give me 1 second. Let's take a look. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Let me double check. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. It's sportsintegrity.com. But for some reason, I might be mixing it up. I can't remember now. Signed UFC photos. Yes, it's sportsintegrity.com is what I bought a lot of stuff off of. I believe this is the right website. Whew. They got some sick stuff on here. They got the Habib strangling Connor, 350. 350. They got the Francis Ngannou. Yep, so that's it. Okay. If Kelvin wins his next fight, who would you want to see him fight next? If Kelvin beats Dricus, I guess, I don't know. I still believe Kelvin's one of the best middleweights in the world. I think Kelvin can beat Derek Brunson. I think Kelvin can beat Sean Strickland. I think Kelvin can beat Jared Cannonier. It's weird to see a guy fall out of the top 10. I think Kelvin's better than Uriah Hall. I think he's better than Darren Till. And I think he's better than Jack Hermanson, even though I know he's lost to Darren Till and Jack Hermanson. He lost to Darren Till. It was a very close competitive fight. He lost to Jack Hermanson, got submitted very, very early. So I know it's weird to say that, but I believe he's better than both those guys. Okay. Where did I see? Hold on 1 second. I know I read something and now I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we go. I was lost. I'm here. I know I missed a few. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it, Sinister. I stood next to 2 girls and I said 2 5s make it 10. Okay. I agree Strickland will be able to hang, but slightly behind on the feet. Strickland will need to mix in the grappling. I think mixing the grappling and hope the stamina is an issue. Khamzat versus Burns prediction in round. Soon. Soon that I will get my full breakdown and prediction. I'm going to work on prediction videos probably tomorrow. I'm late. No big deal. All good. Alex Pereira by flying knee KO as Sean Strickland shoots in for a takedown. That'd be incredible. That'd be incredible. The UFC is trying to fast track Alex Pereira to an Israel Adesanya title shot. I said they should. I said after his last fight they should match him up with a top-ranked middleweight who's not a grappler, aka not Marvin Vettori, aka not Robert Whittaker. Somebody who's primarily a striker, and Sean Strickland is perfect for that. And if Pereira can go out there and beat Strickland, there's no doubt in my mind he can. I don't know if he will. But if he does, they could say, okay, he has a win over a top 10 guy as he's already fought everyone else 2 times, 3 times, whatever it might be. And now they can, sell that storyline. Thanks, bro. No problem yet. Sports Integrity. I looked at yesterday. Yep, that's the one. Who should Pantoja fight next? I guess if they're doing Figgy versus Moreno 4, the only answer is Alexandra Pantoja versus Kai Kara France for the next title shot. I think that makes the most sense. Gastelum should rematch Jack Hermanson if he gets the win. I think that makes a lot of sense. Gastelum versus Till could have easily gone Kelvin's way. It was way too close. Agreed. I was there live. That was at UFC 244 in New York City. The same with Jarrett, could have gone Kelvin's way. Agreed. Again, I thought it should have went Kelvin's way in that one. Let me adjust his microphone a little bit. I think it was a little bit off there. I think it could have easily gone that way. If Khamzat smashes Burns, that's going to be so wild. What's crazy is the amount of people who think it's a foregone conclusion. Um, it's just insane. Supposedly Izzy gets to pick his fights, though. I don't know if he'd accept. I think he would. I want Kai versus Figgy. I've seen people say Kai Kara France deserves a title shot. And I said going into that fight, the winner could potentially be looking at a title shot. But there's no way Kai Kara France should leapfrog Brandon Moreno. You look at, I see, I've also seen people saying, I don't want to see Moreno versus Figgy 4. Let the division move on. Blah, people saying that type of stuff. We have to see that fight play out again. I don't care if you want to see it or not. We have to see it play out again. We have a draw. We have a dominant win by Moreno. And then we have a just barely squeaked by win for Deiveson Figueiredo. We have to see it a fourth time. We don't know who's truly better. We have to see it a fourth time. After that, we can move on to different contenders. How do you see Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling going? I see probably a late round TKO for Petr Yan, honestly. I'll have to dig into it a little bit more, watch the first fight again. But I think Petr Yan finishes him third, fourth round. Sports Integrity got to be the Connor's least favorite site. They got 20 different photos of Khabib smashing him. I know if I already didn't own one, I'd buy one. Who should Brandon Royval fight next since he has a win over Kai and just got a win? He just got the win over Bontarine. He just got a win over Bontarine. Who should he fight next? Did Alex Perez ever fight or no? Alex Perez didn't fight, right? He missed weight or some shit? Tapology. Let's see. I think his fight with Matt Schnell got canceled like 26 times. Oh my god. He was supposed to fight Matt Schnell 4 different times. He's been supposed to fight since he's not fought since Deiveson Figueiredo. A loss. Damn, Alex Perez has not fought since that guillotine loss. Let me get this straight. Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno will have fought 4 times since Alex Perez and Deiveson Figueiredo have fought, basically. I think you do Alex Perez versus Brandon Royval. I think that makes the most sense right now when looking at the grand scheme of the division. Do you think Izzy is requesting that fast track? I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe. But the UFC, I mean, they say they see a good storyline. They're going to jump on it. What happens if Moreno wins part 5? I guess it depends how it goes. I don't think we're going to see a part 5 regardless. But if Moreno wins and he wins, it depends how close it is. But I still don't think, regardless of how number 4 ends, I don't think they're running that back. I don't think we're getting a 5th fight. I think the UFC is going to be ready to move on. So probably we just move on after that, regardless of what happens, even if it's a super close fight. If it's razor thin, I think they just move on and they say, okay, well, this guy can eventually earn his title shot back, whether it be Deiveson or Moreno. The UFC is not making that 5th fight unless it's just a crazy wild fight and it goes to a draw again. And even then, I could see it not happening. Yeah, Brandon deserves another shot, in my opinion. They were all great fights. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to see it just because it already happened. Exactly. Thank you, Logan. And Logan, how come you didn't join the Discord yet? Figgy Moreno is Pacquiao Marquez of UFC. UFC needs a great 4-fight rivalry like that. Fair enough. I was thinking about maybe Askarov. Hold on, what's that? Thank you for subscribing, John. I was thinking that maybe about Askarov versus Bontarine was as well. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Bontarine versus Askarov would be fun. I don't trust Askarov's skills at all anymore. But yeah, you could do Bontarine versus Askarov, Brandon Royval versus Alex Perez, Pantoja versus Kai Kara France, Brandon Moreno versus Deiveson Figueiredo. That would all be fun. All be very fun. I was thinking about, okay, who do you think we see Kevin Holland fight next? Do you think he should stay at welterweight? Yes, he should stay at welterweight. Let's see. Who should he fight? He should definitely get a ranked fight. I don't want to see him against Shavkat. I'd like to see him against maybe Ponzinibbio. Santiago Ponzinibbio. There was no reason besides Izzy to sign Pereira at this stage of his career. Of course they're fast-tracking him. Yes, they are. I'll join the Discord later. It is a members-only Discord. So even if you only sign up for 1 month, you will always be a part of the Discord, but the link is down in the description. Did you see Sandhagen was trying to fight Aldo? That's arguably the toughest matchup for Aldo. I hope they don't do that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Aldo's one of the very few guys that I actively am going to root for against anyone, pretty much. I think there's a lot of tough matchups, but I think Aldo's a tough matchup for a lot of guys. But any guy with really good stamina is Aldo's problem. And I know he went 5 rounds with Rob Font, but I mean, bantamweight is so much fun right now. You could book it up with anyone. You could really book him up with anyone. But I would rather see him fight someone more manageable. But there's not a lot of people. Book him against Dominic Cruz. Book him against Dominic Cruz. I don't know how I forgot. I'm gonna join after the stream. Yep. If the for some reason the link doesn't work in the members only community tab, just give it a comment and I'll reshare it to you. Panthers Rule, what's up? Wish Holland got Kelvin. Fair enough. G Coffee, a bunch of emojis. Okay. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Michel Pereira prediction. I don't trust Michel Pereira's skill set. So I'm going Santiago Ponzinibbio. I think he hits harder. I think he's got better striking. I think he's overall the better fighter. It's one of those things where I just think Pons is way better. Thank you, besides you, for the 5 months of membership. Cruz versus Aldo, winner gets to fight O'Malley. I don't know if Aldo goes out there and beats Cruz, he would have earned a shot at Sean O'Malley. I don't know if he would have. And the same for Cruz. A win over Aldo, I don't know if that gets you a shot at Sean O'Malley. Pons is fighting Pereira, so I don't know who Holland will fight. I love watching Brandon Royval fight. His fight versus Moreno would have been insane if he didn't pop his shoulder out. Him versus Perez would be nice. Yeah. I agree. Brandon Royval, I actually talked about, I did a prediction video for him versus Bontarine. And the Brandon Royval, every fight that he's in is insane. Is absolutely insane. So, I mean, anybody who misses the Brandon Royval fight, you're just hurting yourself. Both beat O'Malley. I agree. I was just kind of trolling. But I actually think he could beat Cruz. Who wins, Sandhagen versus O'Malley? I say Sandhagen wins, but that's a very intriguing matchup. Holland versus Wonderboy. That'd be fun. Cody versus Mokayev prediction. Are we talking about Cody Garbrandt at flyweight? I would probably go Mokayev. I don't trust Cody's chin. What do you think about Arnold Allen only wanting to fight once a year? Did he say that? I think it's a little sad. I don't think it's going to get him very far. I want to see him back in there again. I mean, it's hard to gain momentum when you're not fighting. The division is low-key passing Sean by. He needs to keep up. Supposedly he's going to fight Pedro Munoz next. So that's a fight that is going to be a decent test for him. O'Malley struggles on the ground, in my opinion. I agree. Bet, I appreciate it. Okay, I think that's referring to something else. Cody is done. Yeah, I don't like where Cody currently sits. I mean, he's been KO'd so many times, and it's just the chin is just an off switch at this point in time. I mean, I don't know who he fights. He needs to fight someone with absolutely no hands. But I don't even know who that is. Is Cody even in the rankings anymore? Let's take a look. Nope. He's not in the rankings anywhere. Cody is an unranked fighter. Jeez Louise, even Rafael Sunsao is still ranked. Jeez Louise, that is awful. Is Tom really going to wait until they do UFC London again? Supposedly they're doing one again before the end of the year, so that could be possible. Maybe they do one in August or something like that. That would make sense. Guys, keep the questions coming. I absolutely love them. To fight against Chandler versus RDA prediction 3 rounds. I'll go RDA. I don't trust Chandler's cardio. He was gassed in the third round. I know it was a crazy fight against Gaethje, but he was gassed. Sad to see Cody like that. He was really good. How many takedowns do you think Volk will get on TKZ? I'll say 4. My local In-N-Out is waiting for Cody. Give Cody Askarov. Fair enough. I mean, that's a winnable fight if he can avoid the grappling, but I think he can of Askar. Crazy how O'Malley turned Cody down. Did he? Did the UFC offer him that? Yeah, he said something like, I've got a good thing going on fighting once a year, so we'll see what 2023 has in store. I wonder if he was joking a bit. I wonder why they chose to do UFC 275 in Singapore. Maybe competition with one championship? That's the only thing I can think of. It is very strange. Is Khamzat too small for light heavyweight? Yes. He's not ever going to be a light heavyweight champion. People who are suggesting that, I believe, are either trolling or disconnected from reality. Khamzat versus Burns. I got Khamzat, but my prediction video will be coming out very, very soon. Also, Jones tweeted this time is that light heavyweight is over. He realized that in his last fight. He's talking about taking over the heavyweight division. Jones has been talking about taking over the heavyweight division for years, it seems like. You know, it is what it is. Well, I'll be happy once we finally see him in there. X out of this. X out of this. Khamzat versus Israel. Who do you got? At this point in time, I have to go Israel Adesanya. But Khamzat Chimaev still hasn't fought anyone elite of the elite yet. So I need to see more evidence first. Cody needs to win the fight to even fight O'Malley. I agree. MMA is huge in Singapore. I know ONE FC aren't they based out of there? And do a lot of events there. Okay. Is there even any UFC fighters from Singapore that they could add to the card? I don't know. Not officially offered by UFC. Cody was trying to fight him, and O'Malley said he needed wins. That's fair enough. I mean, it's a lose-lose. Why would O'Malley want to fight Cody Garbrandt? It's a lose-lose situation for O'Malley. You know, he goes out there and gets slapped by Cody Garbrandt. They're going to be like, he got slapped by a bum who was on a losing streak. He goes out there and wins. He was supposed to win. So I actually think O'Malley made the right call not trying to push for that fight. Imagine he goes out there, Cody Garbrandt. I mean, we've seen in the Rafael Sunsao fight that Cody Garbrandt has nasty leg kicks. What if he went out there and brutally chopped Sean O'Malley's leg, then flash KO'd him with brutal ground and pound, and then he was stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury? Cody Garbrandt wins the fight, flash KOing him. It would not be a good look for Sean O'Malley, you know, especially without having any serious injury. So, you know, that's what happened to him in the Marlon Vera fight. So, I don't think he should take a Cody Garbrandt fight. If I was his manager, friend, family, I'd say don't take that fight no matter what. It's a lose-lose. You win, you were supposed to win. You lose, and you're getting stretchered out of the cage again. It's going to be a bad look. I wish they would have done Charles Oliveira and Justin at UFC 273 and did Alexander Volkanovski and Korean Zombie for UFC 274. Either way, we're getting them all, so I don't know. Gastelum repeatedly being thrown to the woods, shaking my head. Gastelum is just being thrown to... Dana White must have a Kelvin Gastelum fetish where he just likes seeing Kelvin Gastelum against really tough opponents. Do you think Justin will do better than Dustin? I will say yes. In your opinion, who has the best chance to beat Khamzat at 170 and 185 except Usman and Adesanya? Who has the best chance to beat him at 170 and 185, excluding the champions? Okay. For me, at 170, this is going to be a shocking answer for you guys. Shavkat Rakhmonov or Gilbert Burns, probably. You know, because I think Colby probably loses in the striking department. I don't respect his striking at all. And I don't think he's going to be able to out-grapple Khamzat. Gilbert Burns has the jiu-jitsu threat, so he can keep the fight standing. And I think it's primarily going to be a striking fest. I don't think Khamzat's going to want to initiate the grappling. He's going to want to strike with him, so Gilbert Burns has a good chance. Shavkat is just so well-rounded. He's great striking, good KO power, good on the ground. I still think Khamzat probably beats Shavkat, but one of those two. I think Gilbert Burns is probably the toughest test for him. As far as 185 goes, who has the best chance of beating him at 185? I'll say outside of Adesanya, either Whitaker or Costa. No, I'll say Whitaker or Vettori. I think Vettori beats Khamzat. Whitaker, I think it could be possible. Okay. Hi, Joey. Hope all is well with you and your family. Thank you, Adam. I hope the same for you. With no serious injury. Justin versus Olives. I think if Justin can hit him in the first 2 rounds, he can win. Olives is hittable, and I doubt he is eating those shots. I worry about Oliveira. He does eat a lot of shots, especially early, and Gaethje has power that can shut your lights off. Got to go, about to eat. See you later, French fries. Yeah, honestly, I don't see Oliveira eating Justin shots. Fair enough. I said that because I'm ready for UFC 274 and have to wait all the way till May. It does suck, but UFC 273 is going to be a lot of fun, man. UFC 273 will be a lot of fun. I said that. Okay, yes. Who do you think wins a potential Paul Craig versus Anthony Smith matchup? They both want the fight. I think Anthony Smith is far and away better than Paul Craig. Paul Craig is fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. But when your strategy is to get destroyed until you can somehow get a Hail Mary submission, I don't like your chances against well-rounded fighters. So, I think Anthony Smith's smart enough to stay out of the guard. I think Colby would humble Khamzat. Fair enough. See you, French fries. If Burns loses, who should he fight next? Burns is going to be in a tough spot if he loses. If Burns loses... If Burns loses, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Colby. Or the loser of Leon versus Usman. I would love all those. Anthony Smith destroys Craig if he doesn't fight like a dumbass, a.k.a. Krylov. Fair enough. John Jones, in my opinion, is the greatest fighter to ever step in the octagon. Reason, never been rocked in a fight, always dominated his opponents. I don't know. I agree that he's probably the best fighter to ever step in the octagon, but he hasn't always dominated his opponents. I mean, are we forgetting Gus won? Dominic Reyes, close fight. Thiago Santos, close fight. But I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. Yes, Anthony Smith. Who would have won and how? DC or Lesnar? DC would have outstruck Lesnar with ease. Easy win for DC. Easy work for DC. I don't even think it's tough, John Gilboy. Jones would have lost to Chael too. Yeah, if it went to the second round because he had a broken toe. As MMA fans, we deserve to see Glover versus Paul Craig. That is an interesting matchup. Maybe if Glover loses his belt to Yuri, they can book that fight next. That is a very intriguing matchup, in my opinion. Alex Pereira versus Uriah Hall. Who wins? I think Alex Pereira just beats the living crap out of Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall just seems to never show up. When's the last time Uriah Hall got a decent win, honestly? Let's go take a look. When's the last time Uriah Hall got a decent win? First off, Uriah Hall is 37 years old. His last decent win... I can't even find it. Jeez Louise. I mean, the Anderson Silva win, okay, but he was losing that fight up until he clipped him and finished him via TKO. Antonio Carlos Jr. split decision. Bevon Lewis, KO. Who even cares? Destroyed by Paulo Costa. Beats Christoph Jocko. That's a decent win. Lost to Gegard Mousasi, TKO. Lost to Derek Brunson, TKO. Lost to Robert Whittaker by decision? I don't even remember that fight. That's weird. Won over Gegard Mousasi with the flying knee and punches. That's what it says here on here. I remember that fight. That was in Japan. I mean, honestly, when's the last time you went out there and outclassed a good opponent? The Chris Weidman fight was fluky. Yeah, I don't see, if I had to ever pick out a win, Uriah Hall has done nothing. It's crazy that a guy that has TKO wins over Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman, I say he's done nothing. That's insane to me. Okay. Do you like Glover to retain his belt? Right now, I'm leaning Yuri. I don't really care about UFC 273, but at least the two main events. Only fight that's keeping my eye is Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat. If you don't care about Piotr Jan versus Aljamain Sterling, I don't know what to tell you, Torrin Brown. I don't like Glover's shot. Yeah, I don't like Glover's chin. And Yuri's just a wild man. But I don't trust Yuri's wrestling either. Would Prime DC get KO'd by Francis? Would Prime DC get KO'd by Francis? I'll say yes. Does Alex beat Sean? I'll say yes. DC can't get KO'd. He took massive shots from Rumble Johnson and just ate him. I wish we got to see John Jones versus Anderson Silva when they were both in their prime. Who would have won and how? John Jones would have won. He would have took him down and controlled him. Unfortunately, I would have wanted Silva to win. I would have been rooting for Silva. Jones beats Silva for sure, in my opinion. I agree, as well, as tough as it is to say, because I'm a huge Silva fan. Better question, Pereira versus Costa. That fight would have been fun as hell. I'd probably lean Costa, but I don't know. John would ragdoll him similar to his fight against DC. Yeah, it would have sucked. Who wins Strickland? But that's a fight I was dying to see at one point in time, too. Who wins Strickland versus Costa plus a little beef there? I think Costa wins, but Strickland's fighting Alex Pereira. I just think Strickland is just too patient, not very active, and I think Costa's super active, lands combinations, beats him up. The Hall versus Whitaker was excellent, highly competitive for all 3 rounds. I can't remember that fight for some reason. Jones would kill Silva, agreed. How would Horiguchi versus Stotts go? I think Horiguchi probably outstrikes him, mixes in the grappling, and wins. Do you think Rose retains her belt? Probably, but I'm a little bit iffy. This fight has a lot of toss-ups this year. The fights that are going on this year, I'm not super confident in a lot of these. Only reason I care so much about UFC 274 so much is because Ferguson is fighting on the main event excites me as well. Fair enough. You've been a big Tony Ferguson lover for a long, long time. I'm excited to see Tony back in action as well. So I'm with you. I am with you. Top 5 biggest upset if Aljo wins. Yes, probably. That's going to be tough. Volk versus Zombie. Who do you got? Let's hear the breakdown. The breakdown should be out next week. But I'm going Volkanovski. I just think he's too well-rounded, probably. I think he's too well-rounded. Good striking, good power, super durable, high fight IQ. But Zombie has good striking and nasty power, too. So, it's a tough one. I hope Ferguson wins. I'm going to cry if he gets KO'd. Agreed. What do you think about the one championship card? The mixed rules bout went exactly how you'd expect it to. I actually didn't see it, but I heard it. It was on at a weird time. I thought it was interesting. I think it generates interest, and I think it's fun. Strickland beats Alex. He has a good jab and is solid all around. I think Jan will smoke Aljo's boots off. I like the way you put it. He will smoke Aljo's boots off. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. How would Anderson Silva have done if he decided to stay in the pre-John Jones 205 weight class? I think he could have won a title there, pre-John Jones. Do you think Aljo could finish Sandhagen like that again or no? I think he could. I don't think he would. I think Leon is going to catch Kamaru with the knee and knock him out. I don't know. That's a pretty crazy one. Hey, Joey, quick question. What are your measurements? I'm guessing maybe 5'10", 210 pounds. Was I close for only seeing 33% of your body? No, you were not close. I am like 6'2", 6'3", like 260, 270. Wouldn't mind a Nate versus Wonderboy fight as Nate's last one. I don't want to see that. Wonderboy's just going to sit on the outside and kind of just pick him apart, I think. So I don't want to see Wonderboy versus Nate. Dixie, why is that the first thing you say? I know. What are your measurements? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. What's Aljo's route to victory? I honestly didn't see the first fight. I was in boot camp. So going into the first fight, I was completely wrong. I thought Aljo's path to victory was out grappling him. taking him down, holding him down, controlling him. And that's not what happened. Petr Yan was the better grappler. He was tossing, he was getting the body lock, tossing Aldo to the ground. I think his best path to victory after seeing the first fight, he has to crowd Petr Yan early like he did in the first fight, and he has to land a knockout shot. I think he's got to KO Petr Yan to win this fight. I don't see him winning any other way. Who fights Ortega next? Hopefully Zabit. I don't think Ferguson will be knocked out at all. Justin threw some of the biggest strikes at him. He walked right through them with ease. I wonder what makes Chandler so special to KO Ferguson. Fair enough. Leon is going to get injured before the fight. Stop it. Heavyweight, yeah. Well, Joe, you're a big dude. Yeah, I know. Ferguson versus Diaz at welterweight prediction. I'll go Ferguson. I think he walks him down and just throws such a crazy arsenal of attack. Wow, you're 6'2". I'm 6'2" or 6'3", one or the other. I've gotten different measurements before, but one of the two. LOL, sorry, I was just curious. It doesn't matter. Joey weighing in as a backup for Alexei Oleinik fight. Y'all didn't hear. I got to cut weight to make heavyweight. I got to cut weight. Aljo got a gift from God. Yan is a freak. Agreed. Joey probably has a better chance than Oleinik. I'll tell you right now, I got better head movement. This is Oleinik's movement. This is how Oleinik moves his head. This is terrible. What's up, Joey? Wonderboy wants the Masvidal rematch. Considering Wonderboy won their original matchup, thoughts on this matchup? Is there another match you have for these guys instead? I have no desire to see that fight. I would do Jorge Masvidal versus Conor McGregor. Wonderboy versus Neil Magny. There you go. Problem solved. Let's see. Not gas out. I'll watch Aljo Yan 1 before the second fight. Yeah, it was a fun fight, especially early. Tony has gone through some beatings since then. That's the difference. If Khamzat beats Burns and Usman defeats Edwards, Usman should retire right after the fight. Loss to Khamzat as his last fight would be a giant blemish on his legacy. I think if he retires, it'll be a massive blemish on his resume. Hoping to see vintage Tony, but I think Mike takes it. Stop it. Muffle Max is laughing. Joey versus Hunsucker prediction. Joey definitely KOs Hunsucker. Joey, where are you from? Baltimore, Maryland. Joey, have you ever been in a fight? Yes, but not in a long time. I don't think we ever get Tony Ferguson versus Conor or Ferguson versus Diaz. Those fights could have happened years ago, but UFC doesn't want to give Tony the money fight. That's so annoying. I want him to make those fights. Joey would be a negative 180. Rank these from who is more likable. Sorry, I read that wrong. Who is more likely to come back first? Jones to beat Gillespie. Who is more likely to come back first? Jones. No, I'll say Gillespie, Jones to beat. Thoughts on Gane versus Aspinall? I think that's a good matchup for Aspinall, to be quite honest. You know, I think Gane has terrible grappling. It looks like. I know Francis is a freak of nature, but I think Aspinall takes him down, beats him up. Jorge versus inmate 1078 scheduled after his court hearing. Fair enough. Do you think Usman will fight Conor? Absolutely. The UFC ain't booking that. The UFC ain't booking that. No way, shape, or form. Usman would, 100%. Conor doesn't want that fight. The UFC doesn't want that fight. Conor just likes to act like a tough guy online. Lamau, do you think McGregor will ever go back to lightweight or featherweight? I think he'll fight at lightweight again, not featherweight though. What beatings have Ferguson took besides Justin G fight? Dariush and Oliveira just grappled him to death. Joey isn't like the rest of these nerdy MMA reporters. He's a natural heavyweight from the mean streets of Baltimore. Fair enough. Natural heavyweight from Baltimore. Figgy versus who now? Figgy versus Moreno 4, and I think it is the fight to make. I think there's no other fight to make than Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno 4. I think people saying Kai Kara France should get a shot over Brandon Moreno are insanity or absolute insane. I think just that statement in general is insanity. Moreno stopped him with ease in the second fight. Third fight was razor close. Either guy could have won. First fight was a draw. You have to book the fourth fight. So, is Baltimore dangerous? I live in Chicago. It's pretty bad in some parts. Yes and no. I think Baltimore gets a terrible rap because it has a lot of murders and stuff. But, you know, I don't really feel unsafe going out. I go to the city all the time, you know, not all the time, but, you know, on a regular basis, you know, I have to go places there and I don't really care, you know. I'm not really super scared. There's a lot of crime, but, you know, I think a lot of major cities have that issue. So the answer is yes and no. It is dangerous, but it's not like one of, you know, I always feel like on TV or you read about it online, they make it seem like really, really crazy bad. What's weird about Baltimore is you'll have multi-million-dollar homes one street over. You'll have like crime infested, you know, just the worst part of Baltimore, two streets over. And it's weird how that is. It's weird how that works. And that's all over the place in Baltimore. You know, 1 second you're in a really nice, crazy, rich neighborhood. Next, you're in, you know, a really bad part of town. That's the weird thing. I'm back. I'm glad to hear you. Glad to see you back, French fries. What's next for Dan Hooker? I think Diego Ferreira at 155. I say he stays at 145 and fights someone down the rankings a little bit. Maybe Shane Burgos. I think Shane Burgos would be a lot of fun. Don't you think? Who should O'Malley fight? I would like to see him against Merab Dvalishvili. Do you think Chris Daukaus can move to 205? Yes. I think Conor probably fights at 170 for a while. I don't know. Unless it's against Nate or Tony, I don't see it happening. I think, okay, when is your fight happening, Joey? I hope you know we're kidding. I don't even think Conor can even make 145 again. Could you beat the smell? I'll say no. I don't know. I don't like compare. I hate when people do that. I don't like comparing myself to others like I'm some kind of trained assassin or anything. Who knows? Who knows? Ryan Hall versus Dan if he wants to stay at 45. What if Aljo wins? Oh my God, catastrophe for 135. I wonder why Figgy doesn't want it now. I don't believe the racist stuff is the real reason. I agree with you. Titanium shin bone. I think Figgy's looking for a way out. I mean, come on now. We're using a lame excuse about someone that Moreno trains with. Put a filter on Deiveson's face when flipping through filter. You know, fight the guy. He fought you. He gave you your rematch. Give him his rematch. Luque versus Bilal prediction. I think Luque outstrikes him. I want to see O'Malley versus Cruz is a good test. Isn't Baltimore close to New York? About 3.5 hours away. Paddy versus Conor. Sign me up. Joey, would you fight any of the top 10 heavyweights for 250K? If 250K, I'll fight Francis Ngannou right now. Right now. No training at all. Don't even give me a couple months. I mean, that's 250K. That's life-changing right there. And I would try to survive. I would run for my life. I'd get warmed by big Dan Murgliata or whoever was reffing. I'd run for my life, and I'd be shelled up like this. And I'd hope Ngannou got tired before I did. But that wouldn't happen. Joey by sub. Nate Diaz versus Nick Diaz is the fight to make. That'd be crazy. Joey takes him down and gets the first round TKO. Shane's way too quick for Dan. Do you think Souza was robbed against Saldana? I totally think so. I think that's a fight. That was a fight just recent Saturday. I was really tired, so I can't remember this last weekend. I didn't see that fight. I think Dan needs someone who's a grappler. He would die if he tried to make 145. Fair enough. Daukaus doesn't really seem like he has the skills for 205. He isn't some elite striker that people for some reason thought he was. Yeah, I don't get it at all. Figgy ducking with that excuse, I agree. When is O'Malley fighting again? His fights feel so spacey. Apparently 274, but it's not been announced yet, so who knows? LOL. What's next for Poirier? Does he stay at lightweight? I would like to see him against Nate. But I wouldn't doubt if somehow the UFC tries to book him in a fourth fight against Conor McGregor. Dustin. If Chandler beats Tony, I say you book Dustin versus Chandler. Or if Tony beats Chandler, you book Dustin versus Tony. Joey, you are funny. I'm not even sure what I said. O'Malley's still complaining that his hands hurt from the Montinho fight. Got to get back in there. His leg probably still hurts from the Marlon Vera fight. You're going to have lifelong repercussions for sure. Not if I survive. O'Malley's fighting at the next Arizona pay-per-view. He said that. That doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's not officially announced for UFC 274. MMA Joey, the Baltimore heavyweight. Marab would destroy O'Malley. I know, that's why I wanted to see it. I thought it'd be funny. And if he wins, then he's been tested. Do you think Jan could make 125? Probably, but it'd be tough. MMA Baltimore Joey. Yeah, that should have been my YouTube name, right? We'll see Sean May 7th or July 2nd at T-Mobile Arena. Exactly, Dixie. That's the crazy part. Martinez fought before. No, that is crazy. That is crazy. I live 30 minutes from Chicago. Just don't go anywhere you're not supposed to be. Yeah. Joe, I need to watch that fight. Guru thinks Souza did enough to win. Absolute BS. Souza won the fight clearly. Guru thinks Souza didn't do enough to win. Absolute BS. Souza won the fight clearly. Hold on, let me turn my phone on silent. That's annoying me. It's still on. I'll check it out and I'll get back to you, Uncle. Remind me. Actually, I don't know. I think Sean won't fight in Vegas due to taxes. No, that's New York. You're funny that you will fight Francis. I mean, why would I want to go out there and get beat up by the number 15th heavyweight or the number 20th heavyweight? I want to go out there and fight the best heavyweight. You know, if I'm going to get destroyed, I want to at least get destroyed against somebody good. I don't want to get beat up by, I don't want to get beat up by Alexei Oleinik. That's embarrassing. Getting KO'd by Francis Ngannou is nothing to be embarrassed about. That's bravery right there. I believe we will get vintage Tony at UFC 274. I'm with you, Torin. I don't see O'Malley losing unless it's an injury. Fair enough, but, I mean, injury is very likely. I mean, he has the most brittle legs I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, what Marlon Vera did to him in that fight. Just chopped the legs repeatedly. And O'Malley got drop foot, and then he was limping around the cage getting outstruck. Then eventually Vera pushed him to the ground, followed him to the ground, where the leg really shouldn't matter all that much. Then just brutal power elbows from Marlon Vera, flash KOs, and referee steps in, and then he stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. It's one of those things where O'Malley, he has a history of leg injuries, and if he continues down that route, I don't know how he fixes that, but it's not going to be good against guys like Petr Yan, who have a heavy leg kick game, or Jose Aldo. Could you imagine Jose Aldo kicking them little chicken legs? Could you imagine? Snap them in half. Joey, what's your favorite meal? Either steak or spicy chicken sandwich with pepper jack cheese, no pickles from Chick-fil-A. I can name 10 guys in the top 15 that beat Sean, and I'm an O'Malley fan. Fair enough. Taxes suck in New York. Don't go to Inglewood. Okay. O'Malley's basically the black version of MVP. Is basically the black version of MVP. What do you mean? You mean the white version of MVP? Okay. What's up, Leo? Hope you're doing well. I meant to say Saldana. That was my fault. Okay. Imagine you take him down. That'd be hilarious. Joey, who's your favorite 3 fighters? I don't know. It's weird because I really just love watching fighters fight. But if I had to name 3 favorites, because I really just enjoy all of them. Number 1 active fighter right now has to be Jose Aldo. Number 2, Robbie Lawler probably. Number 3, maybe Petr Yan, but that's just based on the fact that I love watching him fight. I like Charles Oliveira quite a bit too. You could throw him in there. All those guys are interchangeable, but Jose Aldo is number 1. Yeah, for real, if you don't know MFs, you got no business in Inglewood. Inglewood, Chicago. Is that what we're talking about? 250 check, I take a whooping from Piotr Yan, tap 2 strikes, and buy a new crib for the fam. I'd rather fight Ngannou, at least get it over with quick. And Ngannou's kind of slow. If I had to fight Ngannou, I'd just start cutting. I'd just start trying to get in really good shape just so I can run as fast as I can for as long as I can. Can you imagine trying to eat a few of Aldo's? Oh my goodness. Joey takes center and blasts doubles Francis before a vicious ground and pound, the likes of which Prime Kane hasn't even seen. I feel O'Malley's overrated, definitely. Joey, no hate, but you're going to prove so much when they rematch. Joey, no hate, but you're going to be proven so wrong when they have the rematch. Guarantee that. I don't know how I'm going to be proven wrong. I haven't said that O'Malley can't win a rematch. I'm just describing the events that happened in the first fight. I picked Sean O'Malley to beat Vera the first time. Yeah, I'd fight just about anyone for 250. Fight someone in your family for 250. O'Malley beats Vera in a war. If Tony almost KO'd Justin in their fight, I see Tony piecing up Chandler. I don't trust Chandler's cardio. Pedro versus Sean prediction. Pedro's got nasty leg kicks, so he's a bad matchup for Sean. It's either Sean gets injured, legs get injured, and he gets TKO'd via that way, or maybe Sean puts him out. But Pedro's got a granite chin. But he's got the shortest T-Rex reach I've ever seen in my life. So it's one of those things. How much does Discord cost? Discord doesn't cost anything, but if you're talking about the members only Discord, it costs $3 a month to join. You get badges next to your name. You get custom emojis to use. Nate Diaz, Khamzat Chimaev, Sleepy Conor McGregor. A bunch of emojis to use in the chat and in the comments as well. And once you sign up, even for 1 month, you will be a member forever. You will never be kicked out of the Discord. We literally talk MMA, all the latest news every single day. So if you want to join VT, I'll post a link in the chat, but it's also down in the description. And feel free to. It's $3 a month. $3 a month to answer your question. It's $3 a month. I don't have a favorite fighter based off of style. It's more based off like ability. Fair enough. As long as Tony doesn't get held down the whole time, he's got it. A lot of people are saying Chandler's going to KO him. I don't see that happening. Saying Sean is overrated is like saying Khamzat is overrated. Can't really say much about them yet. Well, you're proving the point of being overrated. When I say somebody's overrated, I mean people's expectations don't match the evidence we had. And I've said that I think Khamzat's overrated because a lot of people are acting like he's going to be a 3-weight champion already. And he hasn't beaten anyone good. He's looked good, but hasn't beaten anyone. So it's too early to tell how good they're going to be, but that doesn't mean they still can't be overrated for what they've done. Joe, do you think Usman is praying Burns wins against Khamzat? I know I've seen Usman helping Burns in his camp. Maybe. Will Jan Rockage end in a finish or decision? I think Rockage decision. Storley versus MVP prediction. I'll say MVP wins. Joey, do you agree O'Malley is overrated? I think it's like 50-50 for me. I feel like a lot of people see. I've recently made a video saying Paddy Pimblett is not overrated. I feel like a lot of people don't think O'Malley is that good. So there's some people that think he's the next champion. There's some people that don't think he's that good, and then there's people like me who's in between. I would say he's slightly overrated. There's slightly more people that think he's a champion, even though he hasn't beaten anyone yet. Where would MVP rank in the UFC? He probably ranks somewhere between like 12 and 15. I could see him beating a Jeff Neal or a Ponzinibbio or a Li Jingliang. Logan Paul versus Francis. Who wins? Francis. No, I lost my spot. Did you know when Lewis KO'd Blades woke up in the ambulance? I did hear that. Aldo versus TJ has to be the fight to make. Anything else is dumb. That's the fight that I want to see. It's a 3-rounder, though. I know. I wish it was 5 rounds. Who's the top 3 hottest women fighters in the UFC? I don't know. Why don't you tell me, Adam? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't have a good enough memory to rank, skill sets. So, appearance, I don't know. I have no idea. Tell me who you guys think. If anybody else wants to chime in. Okay, I'm not saying you're a Sean hater, but you'll never have anything good to say about him. I've said good stuff about him plenty of times. He has good striking. He has good power. He's a very interesting prospect. I said I could even see him defeating Dominic Cruz. I'm not a Sean O'Malley hater at all. I just like, he has a cult following, and I like kind of shitting on them a little bit. Tony will piece up Chandler. Just watch. Let's see. Thank you for subscribing. To one fight, making fight Paul Acosta. That'd be hilarious. Max Holloway has a small reach for his height, though. The worst boxer could beat the best UFC fighter in a boxing match, and the worst UFC fighter could beat the best boxer in the octagon. True? Probably, yes. I just hope Chandler doesn't take the Dariush Oliveira route and grappling Tony into a win, boring decision. He probably will. He'll probably take that route. McKee versus Pitbull rematch prediction. I'm going McKee. Too fast, too young, too powerful. Great jiu-jitsu. I will be streaming that. You ever going to come back to the Chi? What do you mean, Chi? I don't even know. O'Malley's good, but durability is already sus. Agreed. Either Usman is built different than the rest of the division, or he's on roids. I lean to the second. Joey, who's the best 145-pounder in MMA? Got to be Volkanovski. Underappreciated. Joey, what did you think about the controversial decision like the Magny fight and the Matt Brown fight? I thought Brian Barbarina clearly won. And the Magny fight versus Max Griffin, right? I wasn't paying super heavy attention. I was talking in the Discord that night. I was super exhausted, and it was kind of hard for me to concentrate. That's why I didn't do a post-fight, because I knew I wasn't going to remember anything that happened. So I got to go back and rewatch that card. But now I'm focused on 273, so I don't know when I'll get a chance to. UFC super heavyweight division in one-round fights? Sure. I wouldn't mind that. Me too. I think McKee wins the rematch and think he fares well against top 10 UFC. I think so too. That cowgirl, I forget her name, is one of my three. I don't know who you're talking about. So figure it out and let me know. Why do you think he takes that route, Joey? Because he's on a losing streak. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's been finished twice in a row. So he's probably going to be desperate for a win at some point. Okay, what's worse, O'Malley fans or Khamzat fans? They're probably about the same, honestly. But Khamzat's fans just think he is just so... And I think Khamzat's good too, don't get me wrong. But the amount of overrating is just insane. Let's see. Okay, you can show this. Jillian Robertson is fine, in my opinion. Okay. Will the UFC re-sign Barbarina to a new contract? Yes. Myra Monrose? I think I've heard of her before. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, of course I have. She just fought recently. She won, wasn't it rear naked choke or something like that? I forgot how to say her first name. But, yep. Okay. He's super talented. He'll probably move up after he beats the Pitbull Bros, then leaves. The cowgirl with OnlyFans. I don't know who that is. MMA fighters and MMA media are discussing this. So what do you think about the Will Smith story? God. I got to pause for a second here. I can't even respond to this without sounding like I'm being an asshole or something. I hate that it seems like people just get obsessed with these stupid, irrelevant pop culture events. Like, who cares about that? Does anybody even watch the Oscars? I don't, but in my personal opinion, even though I don't like to talk about stuff like this, first off, in my opinion, comedians have the right to pretty much say whatever they want to say. And if you're so soft that you have to get up and assault somebody because of a joke, then I think that just is indicative of your character. You know, that you're that soft that you can't take a simple joke. And then on top of that, and just a little overlap with the MMA media, MMA community, everyone shit on Jorge Masvidal for what he did to Colby Covington. And fine, fair enough. I seen the video, of course, it's everywhere. This guy threw a cheap shot. He gave no warning that he was about to assault him. He walked out, and then threw a little. He reminded me of Napoleon Dynamite when the phone rings. Him and Kip are fighting and kind of slap fighting each other, and the phone rings and the doorbell rings, and Napoleon's like, "I'll get that," and then just smacks Kip as hard as he can. To me, it's irrelevant. I don't know why. There's YouTube videos, there's MMA articles, there's MMA breakdowns probably at this point. MMA community reacts to incident at Oscars. Who cares? Who cares? I don't. So there's my thought. Take it for what you will. Now I'm talking about and doing exactly what I'm complaining about. But I think it's a little bit, bitchy, for lack of a better word. And I'm disgusted that I even had to answer that question, but I have to answer the questions of the people. So, okay. Continue. The card was pretty boring, especially after London. Agreed. Hey, Joey, I was at the Columbus event. It was worth it. I'm happy that it was fun. PVZ, Michelle Watterson, Rachel Ostovich, fair enough. The Marina. Okay, Marina. Damn, Joey, you made me get uninterested in Tony Ferguson Chandler fight. I'm sorry. I still think Tony fends off the takedowns and beats him up. So there you go. You're reinterested. I'm convinced Khamzat fans thinks he's Jesus in the flesh. Agreed. Oh God, shame on him. Yeah, sure. Feels weird to see UFC fighter only fans. I don't know why. Yes, so true. Rock has a chin. Can we let go of the? Yeah, I'm not even gonna read it. Yeah, and also, if somebody comes up to me and slaps me like that, they're getting punched right in the teeth. So when Khamzat gets hard, gets hard. When Khamzat gets hit hard, we will see what he's made of. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't know people still watched the Oscars. I didn't even know they still existed. He ate that pimp slap and laughed. Yeah, if anything, he should be embarrassed of himself, Smith. Exactly, bros. Exactly, bro. MFers were waking me up with that silly shit. I got work in the morning. The Oscars are irrelevant. Exactly. And I'm sorry if you love the Oscars, but I can't believe people even care about it. Lamau Fax, bro, walked up like he wanted a hug and went for a smack. Should have got kicked out, and they let him stay to win an Oscar. Yeah, disturbing. Cheap shot. If he was going to be a man, he should have walked up there he pulled the old. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen, look up Napoleon Dynamite slap. That's exactly what it was. People definitely didn't make a big deal out of Conor McGregor throwing that dolly at Khabib when it was in the bus, but folks now want to get on. Exactly. These guys fight in a cage for a living. And I'm telling you, if any of my friends woke me up to discuss the Oscars, they're not my friend anymore because I don't care. I'm so tired, and this isn't really MMA related, but some of you guys will understand what I'm saying. I'm so tired of people just being obsessed with celebrities, everything they do. Oh my God, they wore this, they wore that, they did this, they did that. Oh my, Kim Kardashian's getting married. I'm just so sick of the obsessive nature of people with these celebrities. It's so strange to me. It's baffling. They're posting, they're tweeting out, oh, this or that about, Kim Kardashian or Machine Gun Kelly, or they're posting Facebook statuses about them. Like, who cares? They don't care about you. They don't care what you think. You've never met them in real life. You don't even know what they're like. Shut up. Or end of the rant. By the way, guys, do not forget to like the stream. If you're in here and you have not liked the stream yet, do me a favor and run up the likes on the stream. If you're watching for the first time and you're not subscribed, subscribe and turn on notifications. Okay. Exactly. How is it wrong for Jorge to do that, but Colby can, but do that to Colby, but Will can do that? Colby literally threatened Jorge's life. He deserves to be shot for some of his words. Come from a Colby fan. For me, I just don't care. These guys fight in a cage for a living. And people act, and I talked about this on the stream earlier this week, that people are clutching their pearls and gasping about what Jorge did. Jorge said he was going to do this. And the same people complaining about what Jorge did would be laughing and pointing their finger at Jorge if Colby posted a video that he saw Jorge out in public and Jorge didn't do anything. And then also the same people would be saying, oh, Jorge did the whole... If Jorge approached without covering his face, not faces, and didn't do it all in disguise or whatever, apparently he had a mask on, whatever, they would be saying, oh, he did the hold me back routine. He wasn't really going to do anything, but he did something. He said what he was going to do. He went out there and did it. Now, do I think throwing cheap shots, sucker punches is the coolest thing ever? No, I don't. But these guys fight in a cage. These guys were talking shit to each other. One, and people keep trying to correct me on this, but they're not understanding. I guess they have a hard time comprehending it. One talked about the other, and I'll try to be more specific here. One talked about the other's relationship to their family. Regardless, if that gives them the right to then sucker punch them, I don't know. But when you're talking about someone's relationship with their family, and you're putting that at a press conference and an interview in the public eye, and you're saying all this stuff, and somebody says, look, when I see you in the streets, I'm going to smack you. I'm going to punch you in your mouth. And then they do it. How are we going to sit here and gasp, I can't believe it. It's the same people that cried about when Khabib jumped out of the cage. Conor talked all that shit. And there's consequences to your words sometimes. Stop clutching your pearls. Stop crying about it. Stop acting like it's the most egregious thing you've ever seen in your life. And also stop saying, well, you had 25 minutes to do it. He couldn't do it. You know how frustrating that must be? And I'm not even defending Jorge. I think it's a stupid move to sucker punch someone. But he had 25 minutes and he couldn't get it done. Do you know how frustrating that is? To see a guy that you don't like then beat you? What's the next step? Is to cheat and inflict some pain on the other guy. Okay. I've never watched the Oscars a day in my life. Me either. What's so great about the Oscar? I don't know. Your mom goes to college. Glamour shots by Deb. I'll never forget Uncle Rico grabbing Kip's Salisbury steak and just mollywhopping Napoleon right across the face with it. What do you think about Dricus versus Kelvin Gastelum? I am hyped for that fight. I still think Gastelum versus Nassordine would have been more fun, but I think Kelvin can beat Dricus. And I want to see Kelvin get back on a win. Disturbing, not sure what that's about. I think it's about the people waking you up. Who woke you up? You got to show that clip. You need to get rid of them. Do you think Chandler could KO Tony? I feel like he could end up looking like Arnold Allen versus Hooker, where Allen looks so much faster in TKOs. I hope not. But I think it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. Polish Princess. Okay, they're actors. It was 100% staged. Who are the most beatable champions and least beatable? Most beatable has to be Glover Teixeira. Juliana Pena, Glover Teixeira. Aljamain Sterling, and Deiveson Figueiredo. Hardest to beat is going to be Usman, Volkanovski, Adesanya. Yep, so there you go. Valentina. Jorge won't get jail time, okay. Paddy will jump out of the octagon and cuddle Dana. That's another thing I put in the title. Why is Paddy Pimblett getting paid 12-12? Wasn't that what it was? No, it wasn't 12-12. Was it 12-12? Now I can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, he got 12-12. Okay, so my first instinct was right. Why is Paddy Pimblett getting paid 12-12? Look at the amount of probably ticket sales that he was responsible for. People wanted to see him. And for the UFC to pay him 12-12 is disgusting. There's no doubt in my mind there was a lot of people in the arena to see Paddy Pimblett fight. There's no doubt in my mind there was a lot of people watching on television to see Paddy Pimblett fight. Me as an MMA fan, just noticing what the MMA community was excited to see Paddy Pimblett fight. It's absolutely repulsive and disgusting that the UFC is paying these guys such, poverty wages. And I know everyone says, I would love to make $24K in one night. That's not what's happening here. These guys are training for months. They're paying gym dues. They're paying coaches. They're, paying for gas to travel back and forth to the gym, food to eat healthy, all this different stuff. Then they're paying taxes on top of it. And maybe they get injured, so they only get to fight twice that year. Now they only made $30K in a year, And depending where you're at, that's not a lot. Jorge literally said he's the best sucker puncher in the game in an interview a couple years ago, and people didn't see this coming. Colby versus Jorge, Hell in a Cell. Okay, that'd be hilarious. Also, George snuck Leon too. How was that not the same situation? He didn't give Leon time to react. Yeah, but I feel like that was a little bit different just because he did approach. I don't know, but I get what you're saying. The UFC needs to make rules not to talk about people's family. I don't think they need. I think too many rules isn't a good idea, in my opinion. I think you should be able to say whatever you want, but let's not clutch our pearls when things happen. What's worse, the Will Smith slap or the Masvidal confrontation? The Will Smith slap. Joey, do you think Colby won the last 3 rounds versus Usman too? Very, very close. Could have took him. When you say they fight in a cage for a living, you make it seem like the Wild West. They fight in the cage in a government strictly regulated setting. Once the fight is over, you can't hit your opponent. That's not my point. My point is we watch these guys bash their brains in a cage. They chose that as a career path. That's what they decided to choose as a career path, is to bash each other in the brains in a steel cage. Okay? And we expect them, when they're talking back and forth, they have a heated rivalry. They're saying this and that. This guy's a deadbeat dad, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't take care of his kids. He doesn't take care of his baby's mother, baby's mama. And then we expect them not to, there's a certain type of person that decides to make their living fighting in a cage. And that's the same type of person, not all the time, not exclusively, that is probably willing to, if they get angry, punch somebody out in the streets. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. It's honestly saying to me how gassed George was compared to Colby after the fight. Super impressive. I mean, Colby was just wrestling him to death. And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. Colby impressed me with his performance. But there's just levels to this game, and Colby has unbelievable cardio and unbelievable grappling. If Colby ever falls off, it'll be sad for sure. He saw Colby all right. Jorge said, watch your back instead of when I see you. Yeah, I mean, and if Colby would have done this, there would have been plenty of people praising him as well. And I wouldn't have been complaining about it either. He said, when I see you out in the streets, I'll drop you on your head. AKA, I'm going to double leg you. Joey, this fight night card is lackluster, ends up being a barn burner. Okay, you should watch Making of Napoleon Dynamite documentary on YouTube if you haven't already. It's so hilarious. I will check it out. I have not seen it. Who should Arnold Allen fight next? Calvin Kattar. That's the fight I want to see. Yeah, it was 12-12. Ridiculous. He sold half the stadium. He's terrible at contracts. Dana owns Paddy. Yeah. He did get a bonus though, but I don't care. That bonus isn't guaranteed. Neither is the win. If Paddy would have went out there and lost, he got paid $12K. That's ridiculous. Uncle Fester. Lamau, I guess I'm a casual. What is 12-12? 12 to show up, guaranteed. 12 if you win. Now I lost my spot. True, they need a damn bonus to cover fees. Gotta live the Strickland lifestyle. Bachelor apartment with no furniture. Who should Nasty fight next? I want to see him fight Brian Ortega. I think that'd be fun as hell. Okay, why Paddy is so mad his Insta was shut down. He thought he got paid way more by the UFC. Hey y'all, what's up Indigo? What's up Keep Out? I watched a breakdown of Colby did land more signature strikes. Yeah, I mean, Colby lit him up on the feet too because of the fear of the takedown. Joe, you should have came to UFC Columbus. I meet a lot of people from Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm too far away. I'm like 8 hours away from Columbus. I think Colby should have watched his back after talking about someone's family in that way. He can't get behind. But I can't get behind a sucker punch. See, for me, I'm indifferent. I don't even care. May 7th is coming, Joe. Let's see if your boy Tony can pull a rabbit out of that. He will. Ben asleep. Ben Askren didn't sign up for that. So just because he chose to fight for a living means that if he assaulted in the streets, he shouldn't press charges. I never said that. I don't know why you're trying to put words in my mouth. Joey, theoretically here, if Jorge didn't land the knee, would Ben have ragdolled him? It would have been interesting. Let me put it that way, because Ben has terrible striking, great wrestling, but I don't know if his stamina is as good as Colby's to ragdoll him consistently. If Usman didn't knock down Colby in the second, easy win for Colby. No, if Usman didn't knock down Colby in the second, easy win for Colby. Okay, Dana must have brought Paddy out back. Yes, Ben would have beaten George. I don't think he would have. I'll say no. Did you watch the Demetrius Johnson fight? No, but I've heard about it. Mind games right there. Do you think Paddy could break the top 10 with the way he has almost been slept twice again? No, I don't think he will crack the top 10. I hope we aren't waiting until 2023 for Allen versus Cater. I agree. Yeah, what did you think about the Johnson Rod Tank fight? I only saw little clips of it. I did not see the whole thing. It was on at a weird time. But it's interesting that Demetrius Johnson can keep his own on the feet strictly with an amazing striker like Rod Tank. And then as soon as it goes to the MMA rules, it's over. That is interesting. Joey, do you plan on going there any UFC events? Not as it stands right now, but I want to go to a big event this year. And also, DC said Colby got a takedown on Usman, and UFC didn't count it. The rules are the rules. I don't know. I think it's irrelevant. It's crazy I favored Tony over Khabib. I would have never favored Tony over Khabib. Askren got outstruck by Maya Lamau. Do you remember how bad the striking was in that fight, Earthrocker? Yeah, Lamau, I remember. The striking display in that was embarrassing. I would have looked like a world-class striker compared to those two guys. If Paddy lost and didn't get a fight of the night, he would have walked away with $12K after selling $100K in tickets. Yeah, and he would have been paying a lot of his coaches and gym fees with that, and taxes too. He'd have walked away with like $1,000. I feel Covington is a great wrestler. I feel Covington is a great wrestler, but not a great mixed martial artist. I think he's good. I think he's good everywhere. I don't think he's a particularly elite striker. I think a lot of his striking is based on his ability to get takedowns. Maya was honestly his biggest L, not Jake Paul. Got outstruck and then choked out. Fair enough. Let's go to the UFC in December. Maybe Vegas. We should have a meetup. Maybe. We'll see. I'll let you guys know when I go to one. And we'll see who else goes. Imagine we meet up. I'm like, who are you? You're like, I'm Big Rocker Johnson. All right, guys. Keep the questions coming. We're going to go for a few more minutes. Joey would beat Ben in a striking match. Probably, honestly. And I'm not one of these people who says they're beating up a fighter, but Ben Askren striking is just awful. It's like watching Cindy Dandoy strike, okay? I could have ate every shot Ben threw in the Maya fight. I remember how bad that was. Wasn't there like a spinning back fist at one point in time? Do you watch any other combat sports like Muay Thai or kickboxing? Not really, to be honest. Not because I dislike it, but just because there's so much to keep up with UFC, Bellator, PFL, ONE, and I don't really watch even ONE that much. Do you think Mokayev can stay undefeated? Depends. Depends who the UFC matches him up with. Islam. What about Islam? Ben throws decent uppercut at least. Joey, does Marab have a fight booked? No. Lamau for real, bro. That would be hilarious. Imagine that. Oh my goodness. We all gotta wear one of those standard typical name tags. Imagine Dixie Normus, who's in the chat all the time, wearing his name tag. Wonderboy versus Jorge rematch prediction. Wonderboy picks him apart again and beats him on the feet. Ben has a spinning back fist from hell, man. That spinning back fist from hell. Who wins, Leon or Usman? I'll say Usman, but Leon could win. Islam can what? I forgot what we said, so I don't know. Wish we would have saw Ben throw a head kick. Imagine a spinning heel kick from Ben Askren. Beat everyone in the division. Okay, I see. Would you rather take a John Jones elbow to the face or an Anderson Silva kick to the body? John Jones elbow to the face, probably. And who do you think And do you think he will strike with him? Yes, for a little bit, I think he'll primarily try to grapple him. Uncle Clip pulling up in name talent stuff. Dixon. That's somebody's name in here. Is Dix enormous? So, touche. If it's timed out right, I hope we can see Izzy defend against Alex Pereira in Vegas in December. If Alex can beat Sean and Izzy beats Jarrett, that'd be amazing. I would absolutely love that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Well, okay, guys. This is the 50th ever live chat Friday. Friday, I will be streaming. I'm not 100% sure what time it'll be. It's the 1-year anniversary of the channel. I opened this channel and posted my first video on April 1st of 2021. So Friday will be the 1-year anniversary. Got to do a 1-year anniversary stream. Maybe we'll go for like 2 hours on Friday. We'll talk about all the latest news, all the good stuff that's going on in MMA right now. UFC 273, only a little over a week away. Super hyped for that. So make sure you guys join me Friday for the 1-year anniversary stream. I want to thank every single one of you guys for joining me today. It's been a lot of fun. As always, I love doing these streams. I've been busy lately, so I haven't been able to do as many videos and streams as I would have liked to. But next week is going to be a massive week for the channel. Can't wait. Khamzat Chimaev, Gilbert Burns. Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie. Piotr Jan, Aljamain Sterling. Kelvin Gastelum, Du Plessi. So many great fights to talk about. I got to start working on prediction videos very, very soon. So, what made you start the channel? I wanted to start the channel for years. I wanted to start an MMA YouTube channel since about 2013, 2014, but I just never had the guts to. So I finally did. I'm happy you guys are enjoying it. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to like this stream before you go. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And check out my Khamzat Chimaev video that I just posted yesterday, as well as my UFC 273 video that I posted 2 days ago. If you guys can go check those out on the channel. If you guys want to chat on Discord, become a member. The link is down in the description. You can sign up for 1 month, and then you cancel if you want, and you will always be a part of the Discord. We chat in there every single day about all the latest MMA breaking news and just random stuff in general. It's a great community. Thank you guys again for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you guys on Friday evening. Don't forget to join me then. So enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll talk to you guys later.